Welcome back to my channel, DNA Worm Castings. Today's episode is going to be on how I feed my worms, how I use Incinerator and Syncorate this food through the Incinerator here, and it comes out in the pulp there. And I'll step through, I'll show you how I feed it to the worms. You mightn't be able to hear me with the noise once I start this. We'll see how we go. So I'll turn the hose on, turn the Incinerator on, get my food scraps. What happens is it's caught in here. It'll get caught in there. It'll drain itself. The water will go through. And the water flows out into a pipe into the yard. bread, tomatoes, that hot dog out in the little dog. If it's stuff like that, I put in the bucket over here, some compost Okay, the noise is over. As you can see, the fruit, a lot of veggies, comes from a fruit salad bar. We have multiple buckets. You see greens, grapes, pineapple. As I said, I shred it through here, through the InSinkErator, which I've got built underneath here. It comes out through this pipe. Okay, comes out through the pipe. And then the water will drain through here. Once that water's drained, I'll take you inside and I'll show you the next step. So this is step 2. I'll take it from there. Pick this up. Chip it. See it rolls in there, all the pulp. Bit of a shake. Pulp goes in there. And I'll show you step 3. Okay, step number 3. InSinkErator the scraps. Took the pulp into here. As you can see, it's all shredded down nice and fine. Smells beautiful. And because a lot of that has a lot of water in it. There's a lot of water in it. And I don't want to go into in my bins here. I put a handful in each of these bins. So that's step number 3. So what I've done, I get peat moss and I'll sprinkle a little bit in, peat moss into it, and then mix the peat moss around with the food scraps. What this allows me to do is it'll soak up all the moisture, and that way my beds don't get over wet and I haven't got flies and stuff. And when I'm using, I haven't shredded down all the scraps today. It'll take forever. Now when I put this in, I put a handful in each bed. I'll put it on the top, and Worms come up, eat it. When they break it down, the peat moss takes the moisture. Okay. So that's enough peat moss for that. Don't want it over dry. And also keeps the smell down. I have about 20 kilos of food waste I go through a week. Now, if you're interested in other how to feed videos, comment that you'd like to make a video on a smaller version on how I just feed. But today, I'm just going to show you how I do this. So what I do, I'll get one of these buckets. So just a small bucket. Save me going in and out. I'm just carrying this big tub around and doing my back in. So she looks like that. And all I'll do now, I'll pull the trays out. What I normally do, sorry, remove that. I'll pull the tray out. Take the cover off. As you can see, last time they've eaten it all down from last time. So the bedding is just peat moss, and that keeps it nice and soaked. They seem to like that. So I broke all that up yesterday. All I do now, take a big handful and I flatten it like that, and I put it on top. The worms will come up from the bottom. They'll eat all in here. They'll eat all in here, and then when that's broke down, I can see they have eaten it down. That's more. So I'll do a couple more. Get some which I like to escape. And I pull the covers up. As you can see, being cold, they don't eat as much, but they just love it. They go right with it where the food used to be. Big worm ball. And spread them out there. Another handful. Alright, I'll put the handful there. You can put more peat moss, make it more dry if you want, but they need a little bit moist to get through it. And it'll be better that way. Some more ones that more fill off. This is the way I go. I do a few of them. As you can see, I've got multiple drawers. What I do, I just go from drawer to drawer. I go from drawer to drawer all the way down. You can, at home, if you have a smaller, say just a setup like this, or a tray, whatever, you can pocket feed them. And that way it heats up, the worms will go to keep warm in winter. If they don't like it, they'll move away. Whatever you feed them, I grind it up. It makes it a lot quicker, and they break it down a lot faster. Now I've got some here, and these are my composting worms or red wrigglers. These ones are actually red wrigglers. So this is where I fed before. If I go down here now, you'll see, look at that. They just wait for a feed. They love it. And the peat moss will soak all the feed up, and no odours. And at the end of the month, I'll show another video where I sift it, and then I keep the eggs and how I do that, it's going to be a separate video. But as you see, they love it. They're all waiting for food. So once a week I feed these. So once again, I've got a handful. Put a bit of like a rissole, a bit of a war, like that. Cover it up a little bit around here. Around the outside, like that, a little bit. They'll come up, that'll heat up, they'll move away to the sides. When the microbes break down the food, they'll come in and eat it. And next week this will be all down, just like this. Broken all down, and no smell. So that's how I feed my videos on the small business side. I've got a fair few worms. And trying to find where it's come from. So it has multiple drawers, as you can see. Put it back, sorry. Multiple drawers. I've got baby ones over there. They're all eggs. Eggs there. Eggs. Breeders. And those blue tubs got about 10 of them. They're all got breeders in. So that's how I feed my worms on a bigger scale. And this is my setup. If you have any comments, comment on there. Any questions you want to know. I do a live stream, and I'll put up shortly a Q&A, DNA Q&A about how I run my business, how I worm farm. But if you've got any comment, if you like the video, share, subscribe if you want to. Trying to grow the channel. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. If you're a worm farmer, comment there what if you own worms and how you feed them. And as you can see here, you see a bit of coffee. You can't really probably see on the camera, but once again, if I dig in here where last feed was, beautiful healthy fat worms everywhere, all my breeders. If you look closely, you might see some eggs being not much lighting in here. So what I'll do, I'll just put them back down. Once again, another handful. Now why I do a handful? Because I've got about 1,000 worms per thing. It's about 250 grams. They all say a worm can eat its body weight each day. I don't believe that. That's my doings. But I'll feed them half of that. So I roughly weighed out a few days ago how much I could fit in my hand. And it's about 150 to 200 grams of food there. So once again, I put that there. Worms will move away if it gets too hot. And then your container, if you put it here, doesn't matter where you put it, the front, you put wherever you put it, they'll heat up, ferment, and the worms will move away from the saucer here. They'll move away to the edges. It doesn't get really hot. When they're ready, they'll come in. I'll come in 2 or 3 days, and this will be covered in worms, and they'll eat it down. Once that's eaten down, they'll come along and lift the cover, and I see they're all eaten down flat, and then they need feeding again. So quite simple way I do it. And I think this one's got my babies in there. I'll have a look how they're going. So you can't really see many here. But just see, if you can, they're only babies, they're only little ones. They're not even 4 weeks old yet. You see, they're only little whisks. See, they're next year's breed, they're next year's ones I sell. In 3 or 4 months, they'll be sold. So what I've done now, I I don't put a lot in the eggs because there's still not some eggs hatched. So what I'll do, once again, this is only half as much. I'll put that on top, cover it in a little bit. And what it actually does, it carries the eggs to hatch quicker. And when they hatch, they go straight for the food source and fatten up. And it's the baby side. So that's just a quick thing today. Hope you liked it. I've got a lot more to do, but the video will be too long if I show you when I feed the whole lot. So all I do, shred the food down, as you see. Step 1, shred it down. You can do it inside in a blender, whatever you want to do. A Ninja, blend it down, they eat it quicker. And then I put it with peat moss, it breaks the smell down, and moisture. As you can see, if I squeeze that, you get a bit of moisture, but not a lot if I just put it straight in. If I put it straight in and I open that tray tomorrow, when in trays tomorrow, there'll be water sitting on the bottom and it gets moist and no good. When it comes to sifting time, I've just got a big mess. So thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, good or bad, and then I can comment back to you. You want answers, comment what you want to find out. I want to find out how many worm farmers, especially in Australia, are out there watching my videos and watch my videos, and what worm farms you got, and then how many you got, etc. Because we're all going to learn together. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Stay safe, love your loved ones, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.